Hey, what's up, everybody, and Happy New Year. Hope you all had a great holiday, and looks like we're going to go to Jerry World this week on the online head-to-head matchup and take on somebody using the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, shout out to the Cowboys for giving us Micah Parsons earlier this season, and then now for cutting Trayvon Diggs so we can claim him on waivers for this playoff push. But yeah, similar to to last week, I had that Falcons user, and that was the first time I played somebody that had used Atlanta in a minute. Same deal for Dallas. Had a lot more Cowboys users at the start of the season, but this is probably the first one since, God, probably that Miracle at Motown short that I had put out. So what was that, like 2 months ago at this point? But yeah, I mean, right now I'm going to be starting off on defense for this one. Whenever I have played Cowboys users in the past, a lot of times I would always kind of try to guard against Lamb and now Pickens this season, but just worried about taking a deep shot and stuff with those two since they're such great receivers. But it seems like Jake Ferguson's always been my kryptonite. I could do really well blocking, or excuse me, covering the other two guys, but he always seems to pop up on the stick routes or on crossers, so I'm going to be trying to shore that up this week. The other thing I got to try to shore up as we get a sack there, let's go. Rashawn Gary, man. Need him to get a sack in real life here soon. He's already been relegated down to defensive end 3 now. But, yeah, we definitely need to shore up against the run here. You saw on the first play I gave up 8 yards, so that wasn't exactly great, but yeah, hopefully I'll keep it more in check than what the Packers did in real life this week against the Ravens, because, man, King Henry made for last Saturday being such a painful week. When I was going over my keys to the game last week, I remember asking, like, specifically, all right, who's gonna... Damn, he caught that? That sucks. Yeah, I remember asking, like, who's going to step up to stop King Henry, and the answer turned out to be absolutely nobody. 36 carries, 216 yards, and 4 touchdowns later. As soon as he got, like, over 50 yards on that first drive, I knew my prediction of 120 was absolutely cooked. But yeah, the Ravens as a whole went for 307 on 53 carries. 5.8 yards per carry again, so back-to-back weeks where Green Bay's giving up almost 6 yards a carry. It's just volume was a little bit higher against Baltimore. As we get a quarterback draw there. Yeah, I saw a stat from Zach Cruz, I think is his last name. But yeah, King Henry's only the 4th visitor to go into Lambeau Field and rush for over 200 yards, and that's a really exclusive club. It's like didn't even see Quay Walker. Let's go. Is this going to be a pick 6, or is Dak going to get him? Damn. Hey, you know what? We're in pretty good shape. Down to the 11, so I should get some points here. But, yeah, the other 3 running backs to get over 200 yards as a visitor in Lambeau were Adrian Peterson with the Vikings, and then 2 Chicago Bears, Walter Payton and Gale Sayers. So when you're in an exclusive company like that, you're doing a pretty good job. And then, obviously, to Malik Willis, going 18 to 21 for 288 and touchdown passing, and then adding another like 60 yards on the ground and 2 touchdown rushes there, all prior to re-injuring that shoulder. Man, he absolutely blew out my 220-yard prediction, on the preview. Ooh. First down. Dobbs was like, get off me. See if we can pound it in for the touchdown here. Get 7 points off that turnover. But yeah, when I made that prediction for Malik at 220, I figured they were going to run a lot more with Emmanuel Wilson, and instead they only gave him 3 carries as we get a touchdown there with Josh Jacobs to take the early lead in this matchup. So yeah, I mean, for Malik, I was so happy that he balled out. That was by far his best game so far. And as much as I'd love him back next season, he's earned the bag, and I hope he balls out as a starter for some AFC team next year. But yeah, in the end, you know, with that 41-24 loss, Green Bay is settled into the 7th seed, which sucks because that means they're going to be on the road for every single playoff game that they can play in. As we get a second pick here with Quay Walker in 2 series, let's go. But yeah, since they're locked in going into this final week, this is going to be kind of the most preseason feeling regular season finale in a hot minute. But if they can somehow pull out the victory, since they beat Minnesota back in November 23-6. The wide receiver screen didn't go anywhere. But yeah, if they can get that dub with Clayton Tune and company, it'll be the first time that Green Bay has swept Minnesota in the playoff or in the regular season since 2019, which was the first season as head coach. As we finish up the first quarter here, 7-0. But yeah, all-time Green Bay is 67-60-3, including the playoffs. Despite all of our resting, Minnesota isn't exactly necessarily full strength either. They're going to be without both TJ Hawkinson and Aaron Jones this week due to injuries, and then JJ McCarthy's actually playing after having to miss last week with the fractured hand and stuff. So if I tried to go over everything that Green Bay just did this past week, this video would take a hot ass time to do. Kind of the biggest ones are Nate Hobbs and Savion Williams are 2 of the 7 players that went to injured reserve. As we're about to face a 3rd and 14, I'm trying to find a play here. But yeah, because of all of those injuries, they had 6 players signed from the practice squad. See if we can hit the right side of the field here real quick. But one of those practice squad, why did I do that? I meant to go to golden R1, but my thumb just went, no, you're going to circle, and that was an easy pick. That was bad. Well, let's see if I can hold on defense here. That was stupid. But yeah, Clayton Tune was one of the 6 from the practice squad that got signed. And then they had 2 more that also got claimed off of waivers. Jonathan Ford, who's a former draft pick of ours that, he ended up playing a lot for the Bears in recent years. But, well, I say a lot. I think he played like 12 games, but still. And then the biggest name, obviously, I mentioned it earlier in the show or episode, whatever the hell we were calling this. Trayvon Diggs from Dallas. He ended up getting cut, and then, let's see. I thought I was going to give it the completion there. But yeah, he got released, and Green Bay claimed him on waivers. And then there was also an additional 5 that got signed to the practice squad, including Desmond Ridder, the former Falcons quarterback. So yeah, there was, I think all together, there was like 23 roster moves that came up on the transaction. That was way too easy for them right there. But yeah, some of the keys or things to watch, Clayton Tune, obviously, when he was coming into the league, I remember kind of hearing about him having like okay throwing power, but his big thing was accuracy. But he also tended to get rattled by pressure quite a bit. As we get another sack there, let's go. But, if he is rattled by pressure, easily, because I haven't watched him outside of the few snaps he took after Malik got injured. The idea of having to start him behind a backup offensive line against a Brian Flores defense is freaking terrifying. Let's go. The one start that he did have previously with the Cardinals, they got absolutely destroyed by the Browns in that start during his rookie season. So, honestly, I expect Green Bay to run the ball quite a bit. Maybe mix in some short passing for Tune to kind of get in a little bit of a rhythm. But, if he just happens to not turn over the ball, damn it. Literally said, do not lose it to Ferguson, and there we go. That sucks. But Yeah, I'd be happy with Toon if he avoids the turnovers in this one. Let's see if he makes the extra point real quick to tie it. Yeah. All right, we'll see if we can run a successful 2-minute offense here, at least get a field goal out of this, but got some work to do right now. I thought he was going to get sacked there, and then he used the defense in and kind of gave me a running lane there. But yeah, I kind of went over Toon for one of the keys and how he's going to look. You know, one of the other things to watch is just can the defense kind of get right as we get a first down there and then some. Yeah, I mean, they just gave up 300+ yards on the ground to Baltimore. Didn't look good against the not the Browns, the Bears. And honestly, they really haven't looked good on Russian defense here in a little bit. So, you know, Minnesota's not exactly the greatest rushing team right now. I think they're like bottom 10 in rushing yards per game. And then there's no Aaron Jones either. Like, you know, I love Aaron Jones. He's not playing though because of injury. So if they can't tighten up against, you know, Jordan Mason and, you know, company, there's no way they're stopping anybody else, you know, in the playoffs, which it's already going to be a tough task anyways in the first matchup, whether it's the Bears or Saquon and the Eagles. But, you know, one thing that does give me a little bit of hope is talking about Jonathan Ford earlier. You know, he's going to get snaps right away as we cut it first down. Pushing the field goal range right now. But yeah, I mean, dude's a big man, 6'5", almost 350 pounds. You know he's going to get the snaps after Riley just had his Achilles injury, so it'll be interesting to see how the defense does this week. Probably should have thrown that away, but at least we got 7 out of that. But yeah, also, like, just, you know, injuries the last few weeks have been absolutely terrible. You know, so many people ended up on the cart last week, too, so just for the love of God, stay healthy. We can't take any more depth hits. All right. 30 seconds left. We're at 30. All right, he called timeout. But something else that could be fun to watch would be Bo Melton, you know, especially with everybody rested and stuff, and it sounds like they're open to the idea. He may play offense, defense, and special teams this week, so it'd be cool to kind of see, you know, a two-way player again. Basically, Travis Hunter light right now.
Here comes third and the length of the football.
Let's see if we can get this first down real quick.
Yellow, 43. Hut.
Throwing. Love. He'll try to pick it up himself.
I had square wide open, but I figured I might as well run here with Love, and we're actually going to get the touchdown. What the hell? I had Watson all day. Once looked like he ran cover 1, the robber, and I had Watson on. Yeah, he did have cover 1 robber press. I had Watson cutting across on a drag route, and I could have easily just hit him on the third, but with that scramble, I just went ahead and kept running with Love, and it worked out. So I'll take it. All right, 13 seconds left here in the first half. Just make sure I don't give up something deep and give up, you know, a touchdown to tie it up. So overall, pretty successful first half. I'm pretty pleased with it. Just wish I didn't throw that one interception. And let's go get the sack there. So that should do it for the first half. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I feel pretty good overall. Offensively, I'm probably not going to change too much. Just kind of keep the focus on Josh Jacobs a little bit, and then mix in some more passing underneath. It seems like my opponent's running a lot of either cover 4 or cover 1 robber. Guess we're not going to have a second half. All right. Well, yeah, I'll take the victory there. That should move us to 3-0 here for season 5, and I finished on a 5-game winning streak in season 4 too. So I'll take a 8-game win streak. I think that's the best I've had since starting up Madden again on this channel. But yeah, I guess let me get to predictions real quick. I had Harrison Smith coming up short on getting a INT this week to join the 40-20 club, along with Charles Woodson and Rondé Barber, but I will give it to him and CJ Ham, their fullback. This may be their final games of their career. They've been rivals for the Packers, for years. So if this is it for them, congratulations on a great career, and I'm glad that we'll never have to face y'all again. I'm going to predict that Matthew Golden gets his first career touchdown this week from his former college quarterback in Tune. Mainly because I summoned it this week on one of the shorts, and I want him to get a touchdown this season. And I'm gonna say Green Bay wins a sloppy, kind of low-scoring game, 20-17. No real logic behind it. Honestly, Minnesota is probably gonna win by a couple scores, but I will never pick the Vikings to win a game on this channel against the Packers. So that's that. And depending on how the Bears and Eagles games shake out, we'll see where the Packers go for the playoffs. But either way, I'll do a video to kind of preview it with our thoughts and stuff, and do another online head-to-head matchup. And yeah, if y'all enjoyed this one, feel free to comment and like and all that good stuff. And I will catch y'all on the next one.